Far-right groups and white supremacists have been outnumbered by an anti-fascist counter-protest outside the White House in Washington. It was held on the anniversary of the infamous Unite the Right rally in Charlottesville, Virginia, that saw bitter clashes between the rival groups. The deadly unrest in Charlottesville deepened political divisions in the US. Here's a reminder of how events unfolded back then.
Terrorism is the use of violence to incite terror and fear. And of course it was terrorism.
This egregious display of hatred, bigotry, and violence on many sides. On many sides.
And a year after the tragedy, some American politicians are now suggesting that Russia was somehow behind the unrest.
I sat in a closed session briefing probably 2 months ago about Charlottesville with the director of the FBI, amongst others, and asked if Russian intermeddling had to do with fomenting the flames of what happened in Charlottesville. I was told, yes, it did.
Well, he says he got it from an FBI briefing, which was not classified. Now, look, if he has information, if the FBI has information, I'd love to hear it. So would America. But it seems kind of bizarre to me that a congressman who says he's not running for re-election because he's having personal problems, all of a sudden, with a couple of months left in his term, takes the opportunity on CNN, which will do anything to bash Trump and to accuse Russia of anything, like you said, even the food in a restaurant. He knows something that nobody has ever heard of until this point, that was Russia's fault last year. Well, then where's the information? If it's not classified, tell us everything you found out. So I don't believe it. If there's information, let's see it. But until I see it, I'm not going to go on Congressman Garrett's word. So I think that's ridiculous.
We asked people in Washington for their thoughts on the claim that Russia could be behind these racial divisions in the states.
Do you buy into the idea that it's Russia's fault? That the people having their rally over there is somehow the fault of Russia, Russian bots, hackers, Facebook?
Yeah, not even a little.
And why do you think that's so big in the mainstream media? Why are they pushing that so hard?
That's a good question. I don't know. I think it kind of, it's comforting to hear that this is Russia's fault and not something that's been deeply wrong with America since the foundation of this country. It's nice to say it's Russia's fault and it's Trump's fault, and that once Trump is gone and once, the elections are more, secure, then the racism will fade away because the Russian bots or the Russian hackers are no longer influencing people to be racist. But that's not true. It's just a nice story you can tell yourselves to say this racism and this the white supremacy of the United States is not the fault of the United States, it's the fault of Russia or whatever else.
The media is kind of using the Russia stuff as a way to go after the left. So they're saying all these left-wing activists are being misled by Russia, or Russia is behind it, and even though there are genuine grievances to be had with all sorts of things, and Russia plays a minor role, if any, in on the internet.
Do you buy the idea that all this racism and all this division and all these protests are all caused by Russia?
No, I honestly think it's just, what I want to highlight is the intersectionality of what happened today. Like, there were a small amount of white supremacists here, but there are a lot of people who are coming to counter-protest them. So I don't blame Russia.
Well, it seems blaming Russia has never been easier. However, some of the accusations are so off the wall they need a real good stretch to the imagination to be believed.
America.